I'd like to discuss the number one sign or symptom that could occur if you have overdosed on your vitamin D. But before I get into this, I just have to say something. The danger or the side effects of not having enough vitamin D are about 1,000 times more than having toxicity or too much vitamin D. So that being said, it's very difficult to overdose with vitamin D. 10,000 I used, and this is what I recommend even as a maintenance dosage. If you adjust the cofactors, now what does it mean, cofactors? It means that vitamin D always works with other factors that help it in its function and absorption, etc. And there's two really big cofactors, magnesium and vitamin K2. And there's other ones too, like zinc and maybe B6, that help to keep it safer and keep it from becoming toxic. For example, if you take a lot of vitamin D, it helps you absorb calcium into the blood by 20 times, because that's what it does. And now you have all this extra calcium in the blood. Well, vitamin K2 will take it from the blood and transport it into the bone. So having enough K2 with D3 buffers it and keeps it from creating a problem, okay? Now, that being said, the number one sign would be calcification somewhere in your body. Now, what's common for women is calcification in the breast tissue, right? That's kind of a benign situation. It doesn't create any problems, but it can occur. You can have calcification in any organ or tissue. So that would be the first sign that you have too much vitamin D. Number two, kidney stones, okay? But of course, kidney stones could come from many different things. Number three, nerve symptoms like numbness, pain, tingling, any type of weird type symptoms with your nerves, that could be a sign that you have too much vitamin D. And number four is excessive thirst, okay? And number five, excessive urination, both of these. Now, what's interesting about these two is you usually get these symptoms when you're diabetic, but in this situation, it's where you have too much calcium because the vitamin D is too high. So there you have it. These are the symptoms, but I want to show you something that relates to toxicity. I think, this is my theory. I think a lot of the cases that you hear about with toxicity are from vitamin D2, not vitamin D3. You see, the doctors usually prescribe vitamin D2, not D3, okay? They'll usually give you like 50,000 international units of vitamin D2 once a week. It could cause the person to take vitamin D2 for a long period of time simply because they're not going to really see the results. Let's compare D2 to D3. Well, first of all, D2 is not as effective as D3. It's not as bioavailable. It's not as studied. It does not prevent fractures like vitamin D3 will, but it does reverse rickets in infants, which is a severe vitamin D deficiency. Why there is toxicity in the first place. But again, I'm not 100% on that, but that's just my theory. Now, since we talked about the main symptom, which is calcification, which is excess calcium, I think it's very appropriate to watch this video next, right here.